Okay, this fight is something I'm very excited about. This is a fight between two of my favorite fighters of all time. Donald Cowboy Cerrone versus Joe Lauzon in April 30th. Um, 9, 10 years ago, this fight would have been an amazing fight. Probably would have been fight of the year, especially if a championship was on the line or even this was a title eliminator bout. But neither guy's a top 10 fighter anymore. Neither guy's in their prime anymore. And they both have struggled to win as of late. Cerrone hasn't won a fight in 3 years. Lozon can still win, but he still has a lot of losses. He doesn't look anywhere near like he did years ago. But if I had to pick one guy who has a little bit left in the tank more than the other, I'd have to go with Joe Lauzon. I think he has more left in the tank than Cowboy does at this point. Now, if this was 4 or 5 years ago, Cowboy, I'd pick Cowboy to win an amazing fight with Joe Lauzon. They're both finishers. They're both killers. Both are submission masters. They both have scored knockouts in the past. Cowboy's been knocked out 8 times. Joe Lauzon has been knocked out less than that, but he's still been knocked out several times. Cowboy's only been submitted once. Joe Lauzon has been submitted multiple times in his career. Both have had lots of losses at decision. So the odds are this fight will either go to distance or somebody's getting knocked out. I gotta go with Joe Lauzon in this fight. I think he's the better grappler, the submission guy. So the chances are Cowboy's gonna leave this fight standing up. He just ain't the same anymore. I hate to say that because I'm a huge fan of Cowboy Cerrone. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, if he wins this fight, I'm gonna look pretty stupid. But um, you know, see, Cowboy probably knows this is his last fight, win or lose. He's gonna come out striking. He's gonna come out. This reminds me of Woodley versus Vicente last year. Um, when Woodley came out and almost finished the fight real soon, but Vicente hung in there for a little while, recovered, and came back to finish it in the first round. I see it being something like that. I think Cowboy's going to try to drop him or rock him early with a big punch or a big kick and follow it up. He's just not quite going to be able to finish the job. Joe Lauzon's going to recover from a big punch or a big kick like he did with Melvin Gillard almost 10 years ago. Cowboy did. And I think Lauzon's going to catch him in a funky submission or hit him with a big hit and finish the fight late in the first round. And then you'll see Cowboy lose. He'll probably retire. I think he should retire. He's clearly not the same fighter anymore, and I hate to see that. Someone like Chuck Liddell or somebody or Junior Dos Santos who clearly should have retired before their last fight, and not the Tito Ortiz fight. I mean Rich Franklin when he knocked him out. I think he should have called it quits a few fights back. But well, I love watching Cowboys, so I'm gonna make sure I watch that fight. I'm pulling for him, but I just don't see him getting it done. Now, like I said, this was 9, 10 years ago, even 4 or 5 years ago. Cowboy has a big chance to win this fight and finish the fight, but he's just not the same anymore. He's been beat up too much. He's gone through a lot of training, a lot of injuries, a lot of personal issues. I think it's just going to be too much for him. The only reason why this fight will be competitive and exciting is because Joe Lauzon is also past his prime and also isn't the same fighter anymore. But I still think Joe Lauzon has just a little bit left. Do I think Joe Lauzon is a better fighter than him? No. Like I said, both guys are in their prime. It's any man's fight, and it kind of still is. But you gotta lean towards Lauzon a little bit more. So I think Lauzon gets a knockout or submission late in round one.